Born in Bakersfield, California in 1931 during the Great Depression. The Great Depression was the deepest and longest-lasting economic downturn in American history. During this time, many people lost their jobs and didn't have much food to eat. My family had to grow their own food. On December 7, 1941, my entire world changed. Before the war, I lived in Beaumont, Texas, a large city where I walked to school with my friends, skated on the sidewalk, played hopscotch tag and other games. Then, after World War II started, my dad, who was in the Navy, was gone all of the time. As a result, my mother and I moved back to California and lived on my grandmother's ranch. Now, I had to take the bus to school. There were no sidewalks for skating. My friends lived far away, so I read books when I was not doing chores. I helped by chopping wood, feeding the chicken and rabbits, tending to the vegetable garden. You must remember, this was a time when everyone had to pitch in and help one another, especially family. There was certainly no television or video games or anything like that to occupy my time. The best thing that happened to me was when my dad asked my uncle to buy me a horse. I named my horse Midnight because she was dark and had a white mark that looked like a star on her forehead. I rode Midnight every day. Sometimes I'd ride to a friend's house and we'd ride together. On weekends, I would pack a lunch and be gone all day. In the summer, I would ride to the lake, tie Midnight in the shade, and go swimming. As a young girl, I did not go to kindergarten because the school was too far away. Instead, my aunt taught me how to read by playing school with me. I read so much that in the first grade, I was reading real books that were second or third grade level. My first grade teacher sent me to read to the kindergarten class. As a teenager, I attended Whittier High School and worked part-time as a waitress. Then when I graduated from high school, I went to Fullerton College. One of my high school teachers had encouraged me to go to college. I hadn't even planned on that. Then I became a secretary at Union Oil Research Center. I was hired because I could type about 100 words a minute, which was considered exceptional. When I got married and had kids, I stopped working. I was able to volunteer at my children's school when they were in elementary school. I even volunteered at the library. I was lucky enough to travel all around the world and visit all 7 continents with my husband after we both retired. I still continued to travel after moving to Morningside. I really enjoy living here because I've made many friends. I like to play cards and go swimming in my spare time. These were questions that the student asked. What did you have to give up during the Great Depression? At Christmas, we only got one gift, if we were lucky. How did you feel about the Great Depression? I was little and didn't really realize that I was different. Most of the kids that I went to school with didn't have much. Nobody had a bicycle. Quite a few of us had roller skates. What was it like during growing up in the Great Depression? I think because I was so young, I really didn't know that anything was different. What did we grow in the garden? We grew just about everything that would grow in California. We grew all the vegetables, plus corn, and quite frequently my grandmother would just go out and look and see what was ready and what was ripe, and that's what we had for dinner. We always had, she raised chickens and rabbits, so we always had chickens and rabbits. And they asked how I met my husband, and a whole bunch of my friends, we were sitting in a restaurant, and he walked in with a friend that I already knew, and he had graduated